Greg, how did the sit-in go? What was it? It was like a hip opera happened.
Yeah, the Sit-in Mixtape.
Yes, that's it.
It has been airing online at the NECAT channel.
Okay.
In Nashville, which is a public access channel here in Nashville.
Gotcha.
And so it's airing there. If I don't even know how to direct people to watch it. By the time this episode airs, though, I feel like it will be several months later. So
right.
I would say if you Google Sit-in Mixtape and a video pops up, then that's it. Watch it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think they're not in a hurry to upload it.
Gotcha.
Because they want to shop it perhaps, or we might end up redoing it. The Sit-in Mixtape was originally supposed to be a play talking about the civil rights movement in Nashville and some events that happened, counter sit-ins. And they did it in a rap. It was written in like a rap opera style. It turned into a series of videos over the course of the pandemic when we thought the live performance element would be taken away. And that spawned a hip hop album along with the videos. And so the Sit-in Mixtape essentially is a series of videos put together like in a documentary style, and then an album, an accompanying rap album that comes with it.
Nice.
And I played the part of C.T. Vivian, who was a preacher that was involved in that time with these students that organized this protest. So I guess that's the long and short of it on what that project is.
Very cool. Very cool. B, what'd you do this weekend? Anything? What happened?
I hung out by the pool.
Hey.
And relaxed. Got some sun, which you can't tell now. It disappears quick. But yeah, that's about it. I needed to relax a little bit. So
do you need some more sun?
I do need some more sun. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I can only get short periods or else I crisp.
Do you burn? Because I used to have the problem of burning. Like
I do burn pretty bad. And
I always forget sunscreen too.
Yeah.
That's not something that because they actually say now, like skin experts, scientist people, they actually say that you're supposed to put sunscreen on like before you go outdoors any day if the sun is
the
out.
sunscreen people say you should use your product every day.
No, but they say that that's how harmful the
I'm sure
the UV rays are now. It's like,
what are we gonna do though? You deal with that, Greg?
I'm pretty anti-sunscreen at this point in my life, but I've only been sunburned once, and that was when I went on a mission trip to Panama, and the top of my head burned. But sunscreen wouldn't have helped, I don't believe.
Right.
I think I had sunscreen on. But plenty of chemicals in these sunscreens now and these lotions. I searched far and wide to find lotion that doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
And even this lotion has a whole bunch of stuff in it. So but it has like a lot of natural stuff. But yeah, sunscreen, there's no safe way to do sunscreen.
Right.
So if I'm gonna die because of the sun that God created, not because of man-made chemicals.
That's a great way to, that's a good point. I mean, if you think about it, it is what it is.
I mean, at this age too, though, like my skin, you can tell my skin, I got a lot of freckles and I'm at risk for skin cancer, I'm sure. But yeah.
We're all at risk.
We'll deal with that when it happens. I'm not in the sun that often though.
Yeah. Well, now
it doesn't bother me. Like, you're right. We're all at risk for everything.
Now that you live in Miami, though, you do go to the beach more often, I would think, right?
Tampa, yeah.
That's right. Why did I say Miami?
Yeah.
I know why. Because I got to interview one of my former students today who's entering into a local athletic hall of fame here in the Bayou region. And I actually taught this guy back in 2006, Art 1.
Wow.
Wasn't the greatest art student, but man, he could run. His name was Philip Livas. He made it all the way to the NFL. He played briefly for the Miami Dolphins. That's why I had Miami on the hit. When I said Miami, I was thinking Miami Dolphins.
Are you glad he was fast instead of good at art?
Well,
what's the quality of life going to be for him?
I mean, well, here's the thing. Yeah, I wonder sometimes because now he works for an IT company and he gets to travel all over the world. I was very, very proud that, I got to be a small part of his education when he was coming up, not the best artist, but he did all of his work, and that's all I ever asked for my students,
Nice.
This weekend I just hung out with my wife, and I was sitting there and I was like looking at her, and I started going back. What would I be doing right now if I hadn't met her? You ever do that? Like, and I just started thinking, I was like, I'd probably be on a bad date right now. I'd be on a bad date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on so many bad dates, man. It was just.
There was a long period where you and I both at the same time were going on bad dates.
Yes. Yeah. Do we
comparing notes?
Do we have a worse? Do we have a worse date? Do we even want to mention a worse date?
I don't have any that really stood out.
Really? No one ever pulled a knife?
Maybe that's what it was. Nothing stood out.
So just blahness. It was like.
I don't have any. Your stories are way better than mine. Let me think about it. You talk and I'll
okay.
Think
Well,
about
I have one that automatically comes.
I wasn't prepared for that question.
And I went out on this date with this girl. We actually went to a concert. I'm not going to say which.
What's the age? What age is this?
I was.
What concert?
It was a musical concert. If I say the concert, though, it's gonna put it in a specific time and place. I want to say I was probably 37-ish.
Are you ashamed of the concert?
No. It was a great band. It was the first time that they came to New Orleans. Actually, the band was Tame Impala.
Was it at One Eye Jacks?
No, it was not at One Eye Jacks. But it was the band was Tame Impala.
I know this story.
And we weren't even really dating, honestly. It was this girl that I met her on a dating app. This obviously before I met my wife. And I met her on a dating app. We went out one time and it didn't really go that well. So I wasn't thinking I was going to ask her out again. She was into weed a lot. She liked to smoke weed, which I have nothing against that. I'm totally fine with that. But I bought these tickets for Tame Impala, and I had 2 tickets. And I was going to ask my brother to go, but he was like, I can't do it. I got something. I can't go. And I'm like, who am I going to ask? And I'm like, well, I went out with this girl one time. Let me see if she wants to go to this show.
So it's the second date.
So it's technically a second date, but since the first date wasn't super great, I don't even know if she considered. I think she just thought we were just going as whatever, pals, buddies. Anyway, we go to the concert. The opening band plays. They're okay. I don't even remember who they were. Tame Impala comes on. I loved this band at the time. This was, I think, their first album tour, maybe the second album had just come out. We're in the crowd, okay, in the front of the stage, and there's this guy in front of us, and he's dancing really emphatically, okay. And this girl was kind of short, so this guy was kind of was in her way, and I mean he was blocking her, but I mean that happens at a concert. It's gonna happen. So emphatically, he was raising his arms and just gesturing, and
What kind of gestures?
Just he's flailing about.
Okay, all right.
So
I'm engaging in the conversation.
So she
gang signs.
Yes, gang signs. He was just He was throwing up gang signs the whole time.
Got it.
So she basically taps the guy on the shoulder and says, "You're blocking my view." And he was like, "Basically, that's the way life is. We're at a concert. Somebody's gonna be blocking.
Stop being short."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stop being short. Well, she had been smoking weed, and this did not agree with her, and so she proceeds to spill. She had a beer. She proceeds to spill some of her beer on this guy purposefully, and I see her do this, and I'm like,
That's not good.
what are you?
It's hard to spill beer on a taller person purposely.
Well, not on his head, but
say.
like on his shoe.
Ooh, like the oops,
like the kind of oops, and like,
oops.
but
Oh,
it's not
look
a
at
oop.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it
Okay.
maybe went
Looks like
on
you
the
peed
shoe.
yourself.
I think it went on his
Yeah.
shoe. It went a little bit on his pants, enough so that he felt it. And he's like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" Like, you know, and he kind of started yelling at her, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what's going on?" Like, he's like, "You know, this bitch just spilled beer on me," or what? And I'm like trying to watch. I'm trying to engage in the concert because I came here for the concert. I could give a crap about.
You're like, y'all need to shut up,
Exactly.
both of you.
It's just like children. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, and look, people piss me off at concerts all the time, and I'm a short guy, so I always have a 6'8" guy come stand right in front of me right before the show starts, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, it happens, but you just kind of have to, you know, grow. Okay, what are you gonna do about it? So I'm like trying to like, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to intercede here, and she's like, you know, this guy is like, you know, and I'm like, okay, you need to stop and like act like adults. I'm like, dude, you need to step back. Like, you know, both need to take a breath. And I'm yelling this because it's in the middle of a freaking show. So the guy like moves.
Are these seats?
Huh?
Seats or standing?
We're standing.
So you're standing.
We're standing, yes.
Okay.
So the guy comes by. He basically moves. Like, he goes behind us. You know?
Oh yeah, that's not good.
No. So
Now you can't see him.
So she is like watching him like a hawk. She actually stops watching the show and just turns around and is just staring at the guy. And she's like looking at me and she's like, I think he's going to do something. And I'm like, what? Because it's loud. And she's like, I think he's going to.
I can't hear you.
I think he's going to do something. I think he's going to like do something. And I'm like, do what? Like, I don't know. Like, I think he's going to fight you.
Paranoia's kicking in. Yeah.
And I'm like, fight me? I didn't do anything. You spilled beer on him. Like, if anybody, he's going to fight you.
Yeah, I think he's going to fight you now because you're the man here.
And she's like, no. And she's like, but I'm ready for him. And I'm like, wait, what? And I look down and she's got this giant purse. All right. And it's like in between me and her. And she opens the purse, puts her hand in, and proceeds to pull out a freaking machete. Now, it's not a machete. Like, it's
Swiss Army knife?
Collapsible.
It's a collapsible blade, but it's one of those big ones. Like, it's a 6-inch, like, collapsible blade.
This
knife.
isn't a pocket
It's
knife.
not, no. She can't fit this in her pocket. That's why it's in her purse.
You open it and it locks.
Exactly. It's a heavy-duty blade.
Yeah.
And first off, I'm like, how did you get this in here? There was metal detectors. Like, so now I'm paranoid. Now I'm freaking the fuck out because I think she's going to stab this guy in the middle of the Tame Impala show.
Wow.
And I'm standing there, and I swear to God, I did not enjoy the show. Like, I couldn't enjoy the rest of the show. It was just like, that was on my head, in my brain. I'm like, she's got this freaking knife. Like,
everything's on your radar.
Yes, and I keep looking back at the guy. I'm like, okay, is he gonna do something? Suffice it to say, I never saw this person again, and it was probably the absolute worst date in quotes that I've ever been on.
Wow.
That
worst
pretty
date.
much wins. I haven't even heard everyone else's story.
So beat that, Greg.
Yeah.
What you got?
First of all, your story there's so many stories I could tell.
Right.
Of different dates, different things you said reminds me of, oh, that's like this date. That's like this date. So
Greg's like,
the fact that they all happened in one day that is impressive.
Greg's like, wait, I have 7 with knives. There's 2 with.
Well, listen. This is not even a date story that I'm about to say. It'll just take a few seconds. My favorite tall person at a concert story is I was in Montreal opening for Mute Math, and there was this 6'8", 6'10" kid at the very front of this concert. And I posted something on Facebook before I went on. I was like, the tall person's always at the very front of the concert.
Yes.
I was like, how does this happen? We need to. But when I started, this kid was the most hype, most into the music, most just happiest kid, just happiest person in the room, so excited, just jumping up. And I needed that energy, and I immediately went back to Facebook to comment on my post. I was like, whoever this tall kid was, he was awesome. I need 100. I need several hundred of this kid at every show from now on the rest of my life. And this kid found me.
Oh, wow.
On Facebook. And it's like, hey, that was me. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, you were freaking awesome. And so I think he still is fans of mine on Facebook. I don't know if who checks Facebook anymore,
right.
But
I feel like
I always think of that when I think of the tall kid. I was like, don't hate on the tall person at the concert, because they deserve a good live show too.
Yeah, well, that's the exception to the rule. I feel like if there's tall,
it is probably
right, because you as a performer, you actually probably like to see a tall person right in the front because it's right in your view, and if they're boisterous and really into it, it probably pumps you up. You know, you'd rather see maybe one or two tall people as compared to like 10 short people jumping up and down.
No.
You know?
I don't know.
More is always
cool.
more is better.
10 or 20 short people?
Yeah.
I was feeling sad. Yes. I was upset. I was like, man, these people behind this kid aren't going to be able to see. But yeah, once he was so into it, then I didn't care. I was like, oh, well, I need this energy exchange.
Right.
Can I ask you both this? Is a concert a good date? How do you feel about that?
Depends if you're both like super into that. A first date, probably not, because you're not talking much.
Is fun the prerequisite, or is talking the prerequisite? Like what? Okay, so movies are out.
I think it's a combination.
Well, I learned my lesson.
It depends too. Like, if you gotten to know this person, have you gotten to know this person really well
online
without going on a first date?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of talking, phone calls, etc.
Right.
To where you're so comfortable. Yeah, let's go do, something that's not first datey.
Yeah.
And then you have a blast.
But here's the thing, though. If you take a date, a good date to me is not just one thing. Like I would always have like tiers. It would be like the first thing I would do is like, okay, we're going to go to a restaurant and have a nice dinner. And then maybe we'll go to a show. Go see a concert, a good band, or even a stand-up comedian. Or we'll go grab dinner, and then we'll go and watch the sunset over the New Orleans skyline, and then we'll go somewhere else. Like if it's going well. If it's bad, you can end it after dinner. You know what I'm saying? You have that option where it's like, oh, it's going really well. Let's go to stage 2. You know.
I thought of a story. And this was we were dating for a while. This was this is my ex-wife. And it was one of those, it wasn't like a date. It was like we're going to my cousin's house for dinner and drinks type situation. Then we go, and it's, we're having a good time, and we're drinking and having fun, eating a lot of food, and driving back to my place. You know how your stomach has a clock? Like your stomach knows exactly how far away the bathroom is, and it hits me. And, it's like I'm clenching, this is, I gotta go. Get to my place, and it like I'm at the door, right? And it's dark. The light isn't on, and I'm fumbling with my keys, and it's like, oh God, hurry. And she's right there with me. She's like, what's wrong? I can't find the key. And she's like, okay, just take your time. No, I can't. No, this is not a take the time situation. And I'm not telling her why.
Well, because you can't. Yeah, you can't in that situation because it's the first date. No,
we're not to that level yet.
Right.
It wasn't the first date, but we weren't to that level.
Right.
So this is after the date This is toward the end of the day on the way home.
Yes.
Like on
This
the way, like
is this
keys
is
to get into your place.
the date went well, so we're gonna. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We're
Okay.
gonna finish this date off. So yeah, I'm clinching, and the pain is so bad. I start getting nauseous too, like the alcohol, and then I drop my keys, and it's slow motion. It's like, no, and it falls before it hits the ground. I vomit. It explodes. I puke, and at the same time, I just blow up my pants. It was so bad, like just liquid diarrhea, vomit all over the door, all over myself.
Oh my God.
And she looks at me and she goes, "That's disgusting."
Dude, that may be worse than my story. That's definitely worse. I feel like that's worse.
I don't think I've ever told you that.
No, I've never heard this story.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So this was your ex-wife. So you made it.
Shit at the same time.
So, but yeah, that's impressive that you ultimately
you made it past this date, and y'all ended up married.
Wow, that is.
No, I had game, son. Yeah. Yeah,
Clearly.
we went in. She
Clearly,
cleaned
yes.
me up in the shower, and I'm not gonna go through the rest of the night.
She was like, "Well, this gives you an excuse to take off your clothes,
right?
It's like whether you wanted me to or not."
But I never forget the that it was so quiet and so like monotone. Just that's disgusting. Like, oh my God. I've got a lot of those stories, by the way, and we'll get to.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, it
discuss
took you a while
later.
to think of that one, and to me, that's a clear.
He's going through the Rolodex
winner.
of stories, and he's like,
I've got it. Yeah, I've got a lot of winners.
One time
like
I
that.
threw
That one
up,
just
but
intersected
it wasn't as bad as
this topic. It was a lot too. Like a lot of. We were drinking something with grenadine, which is like, I don't know, it's red. So it's like red vomit and.
So as far as she knew, you were vomiting blood, and shitting.
I thought I was vomiting blood. Yeah.
Is this
I probably
the
was
second
shitting
time?
blood, but that's another story.
Oh man.
Is this the second time we've mentioned on this podcast the red vomit a la like Stand By Me? Am I making that up? Do you know the movie Stand By Me?
We talked about Stand By Me.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
The other vomit.
We talked about the vomit scene where he's vomiting red because of all those pies and the eggs and stuff.
It was like that. It was profuse.
Man.
It was forced. Like it wasn't like a little. It was.
And probably probably because you were holding it in so much. Because when there's even more compression.
Oh yeah, everything's tense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you were probably nervous because you were like, oh.
Oh, I wasn't nervous because of the alcohol. I was nervous or because of the date.
Right.
But it was anxiety.
Yes, that's a better word.
Yeah,
I don't know if Greg could beat that one, but let's see.
Have you threw up and shit on yourself on a date?
I was just gonna say
It's okay.
The concert date. So I took a woman to see a concert, and I took her to see Mute Math. All right. Now I thought this was going to be a good idea, and just for context, this is a woman I had known for a few years, and we were both. I found out she was a Mute Math fan, and so I thought, oh, okay, I'm definitely going to go see Mute Math anyway, and maybe if she was planning to go, we could just go together. This was my first time asking her to do anything, and so there was no dinner. This was kind of like an after dinner. I picked her up after dinner and took her there. And all I can say, the reason this date makes it to this show was that this was a concert. We hung out, and what I didn't understand at the time, but I understood afterward, is that she went to the restroom during the concert and smoked a lot of weed. And so when she came back, she was a little different. I didn't understand. And then as the night went on, she was a lot different. And it wasn't awesome. We didn't, whatever connection we had at the beginning of the night, we no longer had. And I couldn't, and I was trying to, because I did like her. I was fighting to try to save the connection conversationally, but it wasn't happening. There was also a concert going on and my favorite band, and it was difficult. That was, for any Mute Math fans listening, this was after the drummer Darren had left the band, and so they were playing at historic venue in Nashville, the Ryman. So it was a big deal and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, is that the one
I
where
was like, is this the last time I'm going to see this band?
Right.
Like, what's happening? So
is that the one where Roy
happened.
came out on stage and rejoined for the one show? Yeah.
Yes. So it was a big Mute Mathy type show, and this is what I was going through. So I was just like, man, this wasn't it. This was not the night to take anyone to see Mute Math, right. Unless you were really into it. But then also we couldn't connect. And this is why I'm bringing this up. She posted on Instagram after I took her home and all the stuff. Had my first show at the Ryman, Mother Church, blah, 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 and all this stuff. She shouted out a guy in her Instagram post, not me, the guy who sold her or gave her weed at the Ryman, that she met at the Ryman at the show. They had a special experience that night. They had a special bond that can only be shared through sharing, something I don't know anything about. And then, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this post.
And that's why you don't take him on a first date to a concert.
But, I'll take the L if the reason this happened was because I took her to a concert.
It wasn't because you took her to a concert. No, that had nothing to do with the venue.
She edited the Instagram post afterward to say, "Oh, and thanks to Quiet Entertainer, thanks to Quiet Entertainer."
Yeah, thanks to that other guy.
That other guy.
I also can't remember his name.
I just thought, oh wow.
Yeah. So speaking of bad dates, I've got two more. These aren't nearly as bad as the first, but they're just awkward.
I wanted us to transition to like, what's our best date that we ever had, but we can do that afterward if you want. No,
didn't have one.
You have no good dates.
All right. So
speaking as the single guy here, let me tell you, I'm the one that should say that. But it's whatever.
Yeah. And I think we've went on a date before, so this might be our second date, and it was like a kind of rush deal. Hey, let's meet up at Starbucks for a coffee. Nothing fancy. We're just going to meet there. Hey, it's late. Let's meet up. We'll chit chat.
That's a good date.
Oh, stand by. My DoorDash is here 30 minutes early, so let me just get it off the front porch, and I'll be right back.
Oh wow, that's a first.
30 minutes early. That's impressive.
What do you think he ordered? Let's take a little bet. I say chicken wings.
Chicken wings? I'm thinking pizza. No, it's DoorDash. I'm thinking...
No, it's DoorDash. You can get that from anywhere.
It could be from anywhere. It could be Chinese. It could be...
We talked about chicken wings the other day, though. Wingstop. It was on his mind. Think about it.
Okay. Maybe.
The French fries. Was that us talking about that?
We did talk about... We were talking... Yeah, I was talking about wings with somebody else today.
Hurry. Pick something.
Papa.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so Greg,
what's the point of timing?
We were taking a bet on what your DoorDash was.
Let me vent for
so I
2
bet
seconds.
That you got chicken wings.
What's the point of scheduling it if they're going to do it 30 minutes early? I timed it. I scheduled it out. I was like, oh, we're going to have a nice
that's absurd.
90-minute conversation. and they just drop it in. So if you want to know what I got from DoorDash, I got 2 personal pan pizzas with
Robi's
bacon
right.
and pepperoni with a little marinara sauce. And I don't like getting a huge pizza. I like these little
nice.
I like these little mini pizzas I can just snack on.
I said pizza.
So yeah.
Brent said wings. Yeah.
Listen,
right.
Those are my 2. You both are right. Those are my 2 go-tos, and I had wings yesterday. So
there you go.
Today is pizza.
Gotcha.
So I feel so seen and known.
Nice.
Thank y'all.
All right, B, go ahead. You're back to your.
So
your tale.
so we're gonna meet at Starbucks, have a coffee, chit chat. So I get there first. She shows up and she says, she texts me. I hope it's okay. I brought my kids. Wait. There was 7. There was 7 kids. This was a whole classroom. I'm already in there, and I'm like super nice. Yeah, I can be a jerk, but in those moments, I'm really nice. Oh yeah, it's okay. And it's like, because I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? We're just ignore? No, I'm not like that,
dude. 7 kids.
7, yeah, like old teenage.
How long ago was this?
To like 30 years old.
What's the age?
Oh, I don't know. 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Okay.
That was in my 30s. Yeah, absolutely. My mid to late 30s.
Okay.
Probably like 37, 38.
I think this might have been the same day of my concert date, actually.
What's the longest distance we've traveled for a date, party people?
Dallas, Texas, from Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, wow. So that's my other bad story.
Oh, you drove to meet up.
So this was
when he was in Dallas.
Yeah. So
and yeah, I drove all the way to Dallas, and it was Brent, and I'm like, "What the hell? Why are you pretending to be a woman?"
I didn't catch that. That's my second bad story. So it turns out he was catfishing me, and I knew him.
That's where my mind went.
We're both driving to Dallas.
That's funny. Yeah, we both meet up in Dallas.
I traveled 4 hours.
So yeah, the other one
for a bad date.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad. That's all I'll say. Just keep going.
So what happened in Dallas, B? You didn't meet me.
No. It was Houston.
Oh,
so that's about 4 hours. But we met halfway.
Okay.
Lake Charles. So it was about 2 hours.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
So we both drive and meet there, park, and she wants to take her vehicle. So okay, we park my vehicle, get in her vehicle, go on a date. I don't remember what we did. So she says, pull over. We're like in a shopping center. She parks. She says, wait here. She runs into the store. And I'm like, oh, she had one of my situations, thinking she had to go to the bathroom. And she's gone for like 30 minutes. And then she texts me and she says, I need you to come in, get the keys from me to my car, take my car, go to the store and buy me some tampons because I just started my period. Being polite. First date. This was a first date. This was absolutely a first date.
That you drove to Lake
I drove
Charles.
2 hours. Yeah, I went to the store, went pick up the goods. She stayed in this. It was like a Ross or Marshall's or something like that.
Wow.
And yeah, she stayed in that bathroom for like 30 minutes till I got back and brought it to her, and that was it. I think she was too embarrassed after that, and it was done.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you married her, but
No.
He said he had game.
Not today,
clearly not.
Not that day.
Yeah. And she was also burping and farting a lot in the car. Like I never on a first date, she would just fart. Just fart. It was so weird. I told my brother that. He was like, dude, I would have dropped her off on the side of the road.
I mean, I wouldn't have dropped her off. That's rude. But
Yeah. So I forgot about the farting and all.
I mean,
till after this. So let's just add it up, right? I'm okay if you want to burp. That doesn't bother me.
yeah, you drank some Coke.
And when you get to know someone, you want to fart. Now, whatever. But yeah, first date, like just ripping them. Like maybe she was trying to get rid of me.
Maybe.
Very elaborate scheme.
But
like the farts didn't get rid of him. Maybe she started with the burp. The burp didn't get rid of him.
I need some more context because there's an etiquette to how farts go.
Okay.
And I didn't want to ask
lean
this. Okay. She wasn't trying to hide. There's no masking. There's no trying to control the force with which it escapes.
Spraying perfume in the car.
There's
no, she was forcing it out.
Is she saying "excuse me"? Is she saying "sorry"? Is there anything like that? Okay. All of that matters. All of that.
There was, I think,
these are human functions.
She leaned over.
Everyone
to
does
her left
this.
cheek. Okay. Leaned over to her left cheek to let it out, and you could see her face strain, and like a just rip. And oh man, and I it caught me off guard the first time, and I'm like, oh, that just happened. And she looked at me and she's like, what? Yeah, that's natural. That's normal. Like that kind of thing. Like what? Like looked at me like I was weird.
What's
and she wasn't like she was
on the
very
scale,
attractive. Let me say.
Okay, she's on. Okay, you knew where my mind was. I was like,
that's unusual.
I have a mental image, and I want to know.
Actually, yeah,
I want to know.
Just ask.
Is this
and I'll tell.
Surprising? Like, there are certain types of people, and when you tell a story like that, you're like, "Oh, but I could see that because, X, Y, Z." Does this shock you?
She was a registered nurse. Back?
Okay.
Yes.
Very comfortable with bodily functions.
Me. She was a registered nurse, educated.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose. Attractive, fit. It wasn't like, I've been overweight. And when you're overweight, you might slide one out when you bend over. You got all that stomach, in the way.
Right.
No, it wasn't that. Actually, I remember what we did for the date. So we both meet up. Oh, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know what you want to do. How about we go get a massage? Yeah, she was into it. Yeah, let's do that. A couple's massage. First date.
Oh, wait. So you had a massage.
That explains all the farting.
Your muscles were relaxed. She was not able to hold.
Right.
Okay, maybe.
That explains a lot.
No, but she wasn't even trying to hold it. She was forcing it out. She wasn't trying to hold anything. She was forcing that.
So what? Wait. So you guys are on separate tables getting a massage. Was she farting on the massage table?
No. And she was comfortable, completely naked.
Okay.
First date. Boom. I was like, awesome.
I have a lot more grace knowing that this happened after a full massage. Because
you think?
Yeah, man. The muscles, it requires a lot of muscle control to hold in farts. Okay. So I've had one really great massage.
She was forcing it out.
No, okay. I have a different mental image now because it's one thing to lift a cheek and like let one go. It's another thing to force it out. Like, it's another thing to like really like
yeah.
I don't have a mental image of her doing that.
Yeah.
If she just lets it go because she knows she's not gonna be able to hold it, then that's different than forcing.
Right. It's a free and easy release.
Yeah.
But you can sit there and let it slide out and no one knows. And then you just hope they don't.
She didn't want to make a noise. She didn't want to make a noise. That's why you lift your cheek, because she didn't want.
No, she made a noise. She purposely made a noise.
Well, what kind of seats are we talking about?
Leather?
It's better to let it go.
Ford Explorer.
It's better to let it go in the air and deal with that noise of like your cheeks.
I'm
then
actually
let it
okay with the
then let it
farting.
be like the cheek and the
I'm
seat
okay.
texture.
Like
I'm so
let's
sad
just
we're
say
talking
I'm
about
okay.
this,
Like
but
let's say she was that
this is
she was
important.
that comfortable with me. Like that makes me feel nice. Like I made her feel comfortable.
Like basically, like she was at home in bed
But
right after a shower. That's what you made her
Yeah,
feel like. But she had just had a
that's right.
massage. Another dude or woman had just
that's
No, it was a
basically
woman. Yeah, we both had women.
okay. So
Yeah, made sure of that.
a woman had massaged every inch of her body, and
Yeah.
she got in the car with you afterwards, and
Mhm.
she just felt relaxed, man. That's what was going on, and she was just like, you know
Okay.
what?
All right. So you both agree. Y'all both agree she was
Yes,
relaxed. All right. Fair enough. The period situation.
another natural thing.
maybe the massage brought on the period early.
Right? Right. And she wasn't prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually,
Women are usually
I've been around
prepared.
women enough. They
That's
know when it's coming.
It depends.
Yeah, they know. They know. In the next 3 days, this bad boy's coming.
Yeah,
You know.
Shark Week.
So no. So on a date, no prep. Sends me to go do it. I feel bad for her in that instance.
Right. Yeah.
Like this is not embarrassing for me at all.
Right.
You know.
Was she embarrassed
Um,
about that? Because she wasn't embarrassed about the farts.
she didn't seem
I
like it,
feel
but
like
maybe
she's
she was
just
holding
like
it in.
everything just rolls off her.
Yeah.
It's water off a duck's
But then
back.
after that, we didn't talk. That was it.
Wow. So one and done.
You know. Oh no, I know why that wasn't it. Maybe she was trying to get rid of me. Maybe that's what it was. Because okay, when it was after that, she had a birthday coming up. Okay, so one date. Now her birthday's coming up. She wanted me to buy her. I think this was right when the iPhone watches came out.
The Apple Watch.
She's like, yeah, the Apple Watch. That's what I want from you. And I said, you're out of your mind. We're done.
So wait,
If that's where this is going,
tampons and an Apple
no.
Watch? Like that's
Yeah. I was like, no. That's why that ended.
yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I want an Apple Watch. She said something like, well, my dad would buy it for me. I was like, well, get your dad to buy it for you. Second date. Not even a second date. First date. Done.
Second date is Apple Watch date.
In between the two dates. Yeah.
Second date.
So this is like when they cost like $1,000 or something. I don't know what
it's
they cost now. I
understood
have no
though
idea.
nowadays that the second date you buy them an Apple product. That's how it goes.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
first date tampons, second date Apple Vision Pro Quest, whatever the hell that goggle thing
man.
is.
How does anyone afford to date?
It's
I guess everyone just goes on first dates. You just go to the gas
I was about to
station, put
say.
the quarter in the tampon thing, grab one and go.
So rare that I get to a second date. I just hadn't occurred to me that that's what the etiquette
Right.
was.
yeah.
You're not even worried about condoms because they're on their period.
So much fun. Speaking of fun, man, I've always been a skinny guy, but lately,
You've said that multiple times on this podcast, Robi. Thanks.
well, look, it's a genetic.
I've always been super
It's,
sexy. It's so difficult.
it's a genetic thing. I can't
It's
help
the
it.
genes.
But even though I'm a skinny guy, I've got a gut now because I drink
Yeah, you're getting
alcohol
older.
and I don't eat what I should, and it's just my metabolism is starting to slow down.
Yeah.
At this age. And I'm just curious what you guys. I'm sure we're all experiencing this at some.
You got to start blasting those weights, dude. You got to build your upper
Is
body.
that what it is?
So when that gut comes,
It matches.
it matches, and you have that dad bod going.
Okay.
It's super sexy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, because physical activity, like sometimes I don't have time. When I get home from work, I'm eating dinner, and then I'm spending time with my wife, and it's like,
You have time.
What?
Be selfish. No, it's true. Be selfish with it. Do your exercise
right?
before anything else. I know I'm being funny right now, but I'm also being serious. Like the past 2 years, I dropped a good 30 pounds and put on a ton of muscle.
Right.
I'm a freaking beefcake now. And no, I have a belly still, but my shoulders are bigger, my chest is
Right.
bigger.
Have you tried?
So it fills out
Have you tried diets
nicely.
like food? Like
Oh yeah, I diet. Yeah, I eat about 200 grams of protein a day. I don't remember how much carbs. It's a good bit of carbs because I'm lifting weights.
Right.
But yeah, it's a very specific diet. This particular diet within the last 6 months of just being lean protein, so chicken breast, turkey, fish, tuna fish is awesome. So I get 200 grams of that, and that's a lot.
Right.
You eat 200 grams of that, you're full.
Yeah.
But then I throw in vegetables, a lot of broccoli. I like broccoli. It's weird.
I like broccoli.
And rice.
I can eat some broccoli.
I like rice because rice helps my digestion. I've got stomach problems, obviously.
Right.
We'll get into that later. So yeah, that's pretty much my diet.
Okay, so you haven't just tried the all meat diet?
No, I need carbs to work out.
I gotcha. Okay.
This no carb is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. You can't not have no carbs.
You have to have carbs for energy, but also you have fat storage, and you can get to a point where your body starts to use your fat for energy. It's not sustainable or healthy long term. So I do something similar with my diet right now. I eat a lot of meat, and I'm trying to get 200 grams is a lot for me, I guess, but I'm trying to cut. I'm trying to get
a lot.
Trying to get the 6-pack or whatever, but meat and fruit is what is kind of where I'm at with it. I eat a lot of meat and fruit, and when I'm not healthy with it, I get like the little pizzas, the little personal pans, and that's a big source of carbs as well.
I sent y'all a text. Robi will be able to tell. Greg, you probably wouldn't. But this is where I'm at right now.
Is this you naked?
This is me naked.
Okay.
Let me see. I'll see if I can throw up another one where. Yeah, here's a before.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I told you I'm a beefcake. I don't mind saying that. I worked hard for that shit.
Dude,
I'm trying to get to that level, but probably a slimmer version or a less jacked up version.
So by the time I'm 50,
version.
This is my goal. So you said Hulk, right? Comics, my goal. Because I'm starting to get the gray. The comic. What's the Batman comic? Is it The Dark Knight Returns or
The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight, where Batman's like 60.
Yes.
That's what I want. I want to be 60-year-old Batman. Oh, look at that. I actually have Batman on right now. Check that out. What a coincidence.
Oh, you planned that. That's
No, I actually didn't.
Planned.
I didn't at all. No.
This was scripted.
Yeah.
Scripted.
So I want to be, but no, it just goes to show, you eat right.
Right.
And just be consistent.
Right. That's my problem.
Really consistent.
That's my problem, man. I can't do it. I can't be. I try. I put a pull-up bar in my closet. I know I can do it.
You can.
I know I can do it. I just haven't been able to. But I put a pull-up bar in my closet doorway, and so I try every morning after I brush my teeth before I go to work. When I'm going to get dressed, I see the bar, and it reminds me, and I'll do like 5 pull-ups.
Okay.
And I try to do it like, okay, whenever I go in the closet, I see the pull-up bar, I try to do 5 pull-ups. Like, and if I do that, 6 times a day, I've got 30 pull-ups.
It's something.
And it's something. And I have noticed a difference. And I started at work. I work on the 3rd floor of a building, and I always take the stairwell, and I take 2 steps at a time.
There you go.
Take That's 2 good. Steps at a time. Yeah. And I've noticed a difference in my legs just doing that for like a month, Yep. It's the little, but I can do that. That's little things that I can continually do, like get in a rhythm with that,
Yeah.
My diet is still shit though.
But it's diet. It's probably 60% diet,
right?
40% exercise. Now you still have to have the mixture. You can't just have diet and no exercise. But yeah, I think, and that from my short experience, I'm not an expert. Just over the past 2 or 3 years, when I wasn't dieting, my results were garbage.
Mm-hmm.
When I was dieting properly, it skyrockets.
Right.
You know, it's really good. And cardio. You know, I lift a lot of weights, but cardio every day.
That's great, man.
Yep.
I'm impressed. I'm with it. I do I do just treadmill. I try to do an hour a day, but I don't. When I was most dialed in, I had like a routine that I follow from the internet, and again, just trying to break it up like 3 times a week.
Right.
And have like a shoulder day, a leg day, and then like a back and chest day.
Right.
But I don't like. I'm not consistent with the weights part. I'm more consistent with like my steps. I have a step counter on my phone and my watch. And so that's the main thing I do every day. This is actually this is my first meal of the day when we hang up here.
Oh, that's right. You're
That'll
doing
be
the
like
the intermittent fasting thing.
Intermittent fasting, yeah. So
I try to do that a little
kind of
bit.
been my
Yeah, like I'll skip if I eat a late breakfast, I'll just skip lunch and sometimes eat a late dinner. You know, something small.
I think it's the amount of time from your last meal of the day to like your first meal the next day.
Right, right. B is bad.
Guys, I had a little emergency, a little phone call situation that couldn't be avoided, and you know what? We don't get paid for this, so I'm going to take that phone call.
No,
because that phone call
totally
pays.
fine. It's totally fine.
That phone call pays my bills. You know what I'm saying?
Our man is swole. I want y'all to know. We can't show the picture.
Oh, we're gonna
thank you for that validation. I worked hard,
dude.
Man.
We're gonna post it. We're gonna when this episode airs, we're totally gonna post the photo.
Yeah, feel free to post it
because you sent it, and we're gonna just be like, check out B.
Oh, I will be modeling underwear when I get this 6-pack. Don't even worry about it. I understand the pride that you have, and I'm gonna make a lot of people upset.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you even sent a before and after shot. Great. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, the before and after I sent, that was when I lost all the weight,
right?
But didn't put on the muscle.
Yeah. It's two separate things. Because have you seen the people on the pills, the Ozempic pills? And so they're dropping.
That's not good for you.
No. They're dropping the weight because it's making them feel full artificially, and it's doing something.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
And they start to they drop a lot of weight, and for a brief moment, they actually look good. But then they're still on the pills, and then you see them, and they kind of look zombie-ish. It's kind of like the Ozempic zombies, and you see them, and they just look kind of gaunt and like it's not like a healthy weight loss. It doesn't seem healthy to me, you know, because you're just eating less food, you're digesting less nutrients. I don't know, it's weird. I don't see the appeal. No, I mean, I see the appeal. They're losing the weight.
Yeah, they want it fast. Yeah. That's the thing, right? Everyone wants it fast.
Yeah,
and you can't. You got to put in. Here's the time's going to pass no matter what. We're going to age no matter what. Every day's going to pass.
Yeah.
You know, what are you doing with that day that comes up?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be 50 no matter what. You know, and I'm not going to insult people that are overweight. I've been there. I understand it's hard.
Right.
You know, it's you whatever reason, it's hard.
Yeah.
You have your own things. But just take that one little step.
Right.
That's what it was. Man, when I first started working out, oh my God. You know, I didn't work out my legs in 20 years because of the health issues I had. And, you know, and I started working out my legs, and it was very hard.
Yeah.
But then the next week, it's a little easier. And then a year from now, you're like, oh wow, look how far it came.
Right.
You know, so you know, after 2 years of doing it, you're like, well, this is just my lifestyle.
Yeah,
now. And that's what it has. That's the mentality. It's got to be your lifestyle,
right. You're
not just.
You're just posing in front of the mirror now, like every night. You're just like
every night before I go to bed, I pose. I go look in the mirror, look at myself. You know, gives me a little chub looking at myself. Go to bed. That's my routine.
I won't lie to you. I weigh myself every morning, what I'm about to tell you is 100% true. I weigh myself every morning with no clothes on in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
And
Yep. Me too.
I'm not a fan of it, but I do this to kind of be realistic about like, okay, this is where I'm at, and this is what I need to do today,
right.
and this is where I got to, blah blah blah.
Yep.
And it doesn't always happen, but I do have a log.
When you have a bad day or two, bad weekend,
Bad date, even,
a bad date, and you go step on that scale, and it reminds you, okay, let's get back to work.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's not about being. Honestly, it's not about how you look. It's just we're creeping up on 50, guys.
Yeah, it's more about how you feel, really. I mean,
let's get help. I feel better today than I did in my 20s. Now I had health issues in my 20s, 30s, 40s, but now, and maybe we'll have an episode on that. Now, even after all of that, I feel like I'm peaking, like I'm in better shape than I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm 46. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm 50, I'd love to just be super chill. I'd love to be like Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
50. That's
so I called it, in 4 more years, we'll be doing this. We'll be doing this podcast in 4 more years. I called Batman.
Raking in the millions.
Greg, you said Idris Elba. I don't know what
I'm gonna.
he's ever played.
We're gonna do. Well, he's Heimdall in Marvel stuff. I'm gonna
Thor,
go with Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger. So Killmonger or Black Panther.
Oh, sex.
That's where I'm going with it.
Dude, Michael B. Jordan.
I have to claim
great, gay, whatever. That he's a sexy man. Am I right? We're all straight. He's a sexy man. That dude. Yeah. What about you, Robi?
Michael B. Jordan?
Attractive.
No. Who are you going to be when you're 50?
Oh, okay.
Which superhero?
Which superhero?
That's it. We're drawing the line. We're drawing the line. We're all getting in shape.
Okay.
By the time we're 50, we're starting the 50-year-old Justice League right here today. We have 4 years to plan it.
I wish there were a black Jason Bourne, because that's kind of what.
Oh, nice.
That's what I really want. I want like all the extra James Bond stuffs too.
Jason Bourne, dude.
That's what I really want. I want the languages and the parkour.
I'm trying to think of what's the closest thing. Maybe Denzel in The Equalizer, the first Equalizer film. He's kind of Jason Bourne.
Okay, yeah, his. Yes, actually, that's a great.
Well, that's why he says Idris Elba, because
Well, I was trying to think of a.
I want the physique
right
of Michael B. Jordan, but the skills, the old man skills of Denzel Equalizer. Yeah,
the old man skills. That's what I'm talking about. You want the old man skills?
Yeah,
I want that old man muscle. Who are you going to be when you're 50?
Not the Flash. Let's see.
Oh God, thank you.
No, I mean you already took Batman, so that's my guy.
Batman.
I can't be. I'm trying to think of who else is in the Justice League.
You can make something up. Make something.
I'm so glad I picked a Marvel character
for the Justice League.
I just want to point out that I went Marvel and y'all are on this DC. And Cyclops. If we're going to split our families,
this is an alternate universe.
I will be Cyclops, because at that point I probably will only have one working eye. So
no, we're trying to get better.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
It's no, Cyclops was always my favorite X-Man, but I liked Wolverine.
Such a kiss ass.
No. He was only a kiss ass in the movies. In the comics,
Cyclops, in the comics he was too.
Cyclops was a badass in the comics. And by the way, speaking of X-Men, did you guys see the trailer for Deadpool Wolverine?
No, I'm waiting. I don't want to get too excited because I love Deadpool.
I saw the trailer.
Get excited because this might be the
first
Marvel film since Disney bought Marvel that I actually really want.
All the Deadpools are fantastic.
Yeah.
And Wolverine and Logan was fantastic.
But I was expecting Disney to water Deadpool down, and he was going to be
maybe. I wasn't thinking that direction. Is it Disney still? Because I know they were separated from Marvel.
It's Disney now, and it's full on Marvel, and it's Deadpool. Man, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. It's still
I just like Ryan Reynolds.
That's it, Ryan Reynolds. I'll be Deadpool.
He's also a sexy man.
I will be Deadpool because I am a sarcastic son of a gun.
Yeah, you got to put on some muscle though.
I do. Yeah, I'll put on some muscle. I'll do.
All right.
I'll do.
How much do you weigh?
Right now,
It's an easy formula. How much do you weigh?
I weigh like about 140 right now.
All right, 140 grams of protein every day.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm 204. I'm trying to get down to 172. I might have to
Then do
but
172 protein.
I need to add muscle too though. So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you can still, because look, I'm 225 and I'm doing 200 protein because you have fat.
Right. Right.
You know, you got fat on you. They say eat your body weight in protein. What if you're overweight? No, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. If you weigh 300 pounds and you're, and it's mostly fat, you're not eating 300 grams of protein.
No. No.
So yeah, you're trying to get to 172. Try to hit that 172 mark in protein.
Yeah.
And do lean, because that's the only way you're going to hit it.
Yeah.
And stay under your calories. Otherwise, you're going to eat a ton of calories.
Yeah.
Chicken breast, turkey, fish.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's good.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys in
Good.
in a couple of weeks.
Good game, everybody.